Hello everyone, we are opening up the architectural blueprints of enterprise systems to explore how Microsoft Copilot bridges the gap across your company's heavy software machinery. Let's start with the formal definition of an enterprise application integration fabric, which is an intelligent middleware layer that utilizes advanced large language models and secure API connectors to synthesize data streams and automate workflows across distinct ERP and CRM software systems. Now, to translate that into simple everyday English for adult learners, this means putting an incredibly smart universal translator on top of all your company's giant separate software databases. In a traditional corporation, your enterprise resource planning software handles the back office factory inventory, shipping docs, and finance ledgers, while your customer relationship management software handles front office client sales, pipelines, and customer service records. These two systems are usually completely isolated from each other, forcing your employees to painfully copy numbers out of one screen and paste them into another. Copilot acts like a master bridge over that software divide, allowing a user to ask a single question and pull live data from both systems simultaneously. Stay with me here because breaking down these software silos is how you turn slow, fragmented company chores into real-time operational speed. So, now that we understand the core identity of this integration fabric, you might be wondering how Copilot transforms the daily routine of a frontline corporate sales representative. Well, that brings us right into our next step. The technical definition of a conversational CRM extension is an integrated AI assistant that reads, updates, and analyzes client relationship logs, opportunity pipelines, and transactional histories directly within a sales automation platform via natural language commands. In plain English, this completely eliminates the boring manual administrative paperwork that sales professionals absolutely hate doing at the end of every week. Instead of forcing a salesperson to spend 2 hours manually typing a summary of a long client phone call into their CRM database, Copilot listens to the call audio, extracts the core customer pain points, updates the deal closure probability score, and drafts a personalized follow-up email with an attached price quote automatically. Imagine a busy account executive preparing for an unexpected meeting with a high-value client. They can simply ask Copilot, "Give me a complete one-page brief on company X, including their open support tickets, recent purchase orders, and our top competitor threats." Copilot pulls the data from the CRM database instantly, giving the salesperson everything they need to close the deal. Let's break this down together, because freeing up your sales team from administrative paperwork means they spend more time building client relationships and closing revenue for your business. So, now that we have mastered how Copilot supercharges front office sales pipelines inside Dynamics 365, you might be wondering how it handles complex back office supply chains and inventory logs. Well, that brings us right into our next step. When we look at heavy industrial operations, the textbook definition of intelligent ERP process automation is the deployment of conversational AI agents to interrogate real-time logistics ledgers, manufacturing schedules, and supply chain invoices to optimize operational throughput. To put that simply, it means running a global warehouse inventory check by simply talking to your computer like a human being. In a traditional factory setup, if a major part supplier suddenly delays a shipment of steel, a logistics manager has to run complex database reports, match them against assembly line schedules, and calculate the delay impact manually. With Copilot integrated into your ERP architecture, the manager can simply type, "We just learned supplier A is delayed by 10 days. What manufacturing orders will be impacted, and what alternative vendors have that exact steel part in stock right now?" Copilot scans the deep enterprise inventory tables, flags the specific factory lines that would stall, finds an approved backup vendor in your system, and drafts a purchase order request in seconds. You've probably noticed that this level of rapid decision making saves companies millions of dollars in supply chain downtime and shipping penalties. So, now that we have connected Copilot to optimize our back office supply chains and inventory databases, you might be wondering how Microsoft secures these data connections using standard system extensions. Well, that brings us right into our next step. The formal definition of an enterprise data connector is a secure authenticated API gateway that maps data schemas and routes transactional payloads between a model orchestration layer and an external relational database. In everyday language, this is the secure digital pipe that lets the AI assistant safely read and write data inside your company's primary software engines. Microsoft uses a structured development framework where your IT teams can build custom connectors to any software system, whether it's a modern cloud platform like Salesforce and SAP, or an old custom legacy database running in your physical office building. These connectors act like a highly trained digital border guard. They ensure that when the AI engine requests information, it uses encrypted security tokens, validates the user's specific access rights, and formats the data into clean, structured blocks. This standard architecture means your engineering teams don't have to rebuild their entire software ecosystem from scratch. They simply plug Copilot right into their existing databases, immediately unlocking advanced corporate intelligence across your entire technology footprint. So now that we have mastered the secure technical pipe architecture of custom plugins and connectors, you might be wondering how to evaluate the readiness of your specific systems before turning on these deep integrations. Well, that brings us right into our next step. The textbook definition of system integration readiness evaluation is the systematic review of an enterprise's data schemas, API performance metrics, and authentication protocols to verify their technical compatibility with an AI orchestration framework. In simple terms, this means checking under the hood of your current databases to make sure they are clean enough and fast enough to talk to an AI assistant without crashing or leaking information. If your company's ERP database uses outdated software code from 15 years ago, lacks secure API access points, or contains messy, unorganized columns of unvetted text data, pointing an advanced conversational AI engine at it will only result in system errors and data confusion. As an AI transformation leader, your job is to run a thorough readiness review, checking that your APIs are modern and secure, your data fields follow uniform corporate naming conventions, and your user permission access levels are strictly defined. This engineering review guarantees that when you activate your integrated AI tools, the systems run flawlessly, scale effortlessly, and deliver immediate business value without any technical friction. So now that we have run our readiness review and verified our system connection infrastructure, you might be wondering how to present a long-term integration roadmap to your enterprise stakeholders. Well, that brings us right into our next step. The technical definition of an enterprise application integration roadmap is a comprehensive strategic timeline that sequences the connection, validation, and optimization of AI capabilities across an organization's master ERP and CRM software assets. In plain terms, this is your complete boardroom-ready plan that shows the executive steering committee exactly how your AI strategy will weave into the core software machinery of the company over the next fiscal year. You map out a phased deployment, starting with quick sales tool enhancements for the front office account managers, moving into warehouse inventory tracking for the back office logistics teams, and finally achieving a fully connected enterprise where data flows smoothly from manufacturing dock to final customer checkout via natural language interfaces. By presenting a structured, high visibility integration blueprint, you remove all technical anxiety from the executive boardroom, guarantee a unified rollout across all business departments, and secure your place as a premier architect of modern corporate efficiency and enterprise growth. You have now mastered app integrations across ERP and CRM architectures. So now that we have assessed how Copilot extends into ERP and CRM systems, you might be wondering how to evaluate desktop versus mobile workspaces for field and distributed teams. Well, that brings us right into our next chapter.